The Tabletop TV program is for mature audiences only.
Okay, cameras are rolling. We're live in 3, 2...
Thanks for tuning in to Tabletop TV.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tabletop TV, the only TV channel that broadcasts both professional hacky sack races and actual play content. Last episode, our merry fellowship concluded the second game of the Seer, and Tulpa was crowned one of 2 victors, and as such was treated to the finest suite the town of Corbin had to offer. While holding hands with a servant named Thomas and being sung such merry folk tunes as Drunken Sailor and Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, Tulpa's luxury was interrupted by the Seer Providence, who, after getting permission, briefly peered into Tulpa's dreams, inadvertently allowing Tulpa to peer back and witness a strange scene where a girl very much resembling Lily was yelling at the Seers, saying things like, you know, you're called the Seers, but all of you have your eyes closed, and this is really messed up. The next day, our fellowship was treated to a fair being thrown by the town of Corbin to celebrate the arrival of the songstress. At this fair, Larder got his fortune told, Tulpa ate an inhuman amount of kettle corn, and Marianne bore witness to the most extreme middle-aged hacky sack race of all time. Finally, our session concluded with the third game of the Seer, a competition of magery held in a grand circus tent that quickly went awry. As the competition was commencing, a rumble reverberated throughout the earth, and all of the hedge wizard's magic got radically out of hand. Hello, I am Reed B, and I will be your host and game master for this afternoon, even though we're technically recording this at night. And today I am happy to be joined again by...
Hi there, my name is Colton. Hi, my name is Borb, and I'm going to be playing Larder Gillhooley. And I'm going to popcorn over to Colton.
Hi, my name is my name's Reed? No, my name is Colton. And I'm going to be...
Fuck, dude, you're fucking it up.
I'm going to be playing Tulpa? Hopefully?
That was really good. All right, Sid, take us home strong.
Hi, I'm Sid, and I'm going to be playing Marianne, and I think it's bold of Reed to assume the listener is listening in the afternoon.
Real.
I just think it's kind of a fun game show thing. I don't know.
All in favor of mutiny?
Notably, they air the worst game shows in the afternoon.
Fuck, is that true?
I think so, because you gotta air them in the morning, for all your morning watchers, I guess, and then in the evening when people are home from work. Who's watching a game show in the afternoon? Nobody. Sick kids.
I'm not re-recording. Hey, I'm going to be real. I'm not re-recording 5 episodes worth of I'll be your host and game master for this afternoon. It's the brand now.
I don't think do you say afternoon in any of the other ones?
Yeah, afternoon
I think
is
he
in
does.
every single recording.
I've never noticed it except for today. Today I was like, why'd you say afternoon?
It's canon, baby. Every episode of Tabletop TV is canonically recorded in the afternoon.
Yep, takes place in the afternoon.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this show on the road, unless there are any last bits or jabs about the time of day.
I just don't like the way you look.
Okay. Fuck. All right, show's over. Everybody go home. Everybody stop airing the cameras. I need to go be mean to an intern about my coffee order. We return to the world of Atlas, and we behold a much less peaceful sight than we have been greeted to at the beginning of these past 2 sessions. A red and white striped circus tent, towering high at the center of the town of Corbin, has been set alight and is now a burning beacon of tapestry in the middle of town. The 3 of you are, unfortunately, in this tent as the ceiling is lit ablaze atop of you. And the crowd and the bleachers here are gathered around the edge of the tent, just absolutely freaking the fuck out. Screams and cries and people trying to get through crowds of people tumbling over each other. And as was described at the end of last session, in the middle of the pit where all these mages were performing, absolute hell has broken loose. It seems like the hedge wizard, the young hedge wizard Archie, is struggling to put out fires that have sprung up around his shoulders and hands as his fire magic has gotten completely out of control. Also, in the middle of this pit, Jenna Ulrich, an older wizard who was animating a couple household appliances such as brooms and buckets to trance around, has fallen completely unconscious, and around her, dozens of random items have sprung to life. bleachers galloping around like horses, buckets hopping around. A bag of kettle corn has been tossed over, and a small ooze-like creature with two big globby eyes made out of kettle corn is just slugging around the arena, walking up to people. Notably, this kettle corn monster seems to have made intense eye contact with Tulpa, and it seems to have some kind of thirst for justice in its eyes as it looks at Tulpa. And as well as this, just a couple other items sprung to life, and they have hoisted up Lily Tillman's palanquin that was sat at the middle of this little circus tent, and they are now carrying her around wildly. Just brooms and buckets and benches and bleachers are carrying this palanquin around. And you see an interesting thing happen, where as one of the brooms touches the palanquin itself, the broom deanimates, and then the palanquin springs to life. And the four handles that would be held by humans to cart it around begin to bend like legs of a horse, and the palanquin begins to gallop around. All of you are where you were last time. Marianne, you were, I should say, directly next to Lily before her chair got a bit of a mind of its own and started running around. And Larder and Tulpa, you are both in the bleachers around kind of the rim of this circus tent. I have described the scene as it is laid out before you. What do you guys do?
We need to get Lily.
What?
Quietest ever. What?
Wait. Hold. What? Can't you do that? Don't you have freaking demon powers or something?
Wait, yes, Tulpa, wherever she goes, you're just gonna end up there.
Wait, that's a good. But I need you guys, because you know how to do things.
We need to find a way to connect us to you, so that we can also then. We need to all hold hands, is what I'm hearing.
Sounds great. And I real quick, Reed. Does Tulpa still have his super mega charge power?
Yeah, you bring up an excellent point that we discussed off camera before this. As the other two members of the party begin to look at Tulpa, you see something that Tulpa maybe hasn't entirely recognized himself yet. Tulpa's kind of bugging out a little bit. You know that Tulpa has this ability to kind of shapeshift or change his body at will. And it seems like his body has begun to rapidly morph and fluctuate and change. Unbeknownst to him, it's like his hands are growing and shrinking, and his eyes are getting bigger and smaller. And it seems like whatever crazy shockwave magic EMP that happened here is also hitting Tulpa, because he's an inherently magical creature. And the homebrew that's happening behind the scenes right now is that currently, while this stirring happens, this big magical phenomena, Tulpa is going to treat any magical things he attempts to do as a greatness theme check, where he'll get, I believe, +6 to the roll. The trade-off is if he rolls over a 15, an uncontrollable surge of magic happens to him, and I introduce a complication anyways. So, Tulpa, you're feeling yourself. You feel fucking phenomenal. A little too phenomenal. A little bit like you would, try to do your classic thumb bit and blow up your fist, and it would turn into the size of a fucking boulder and crush somebody,
Incredibly apt description, because at Marianne's suggestion that we all hold hands, I think Tulpa extends his arms and tries to grab their hands, but his hands grow to the size of both of their entire bodies, and my arms stretch out directly to them, and I fully grab their whole bodies in my hands and retract so that they're right next to me.
Oh yeah. You reach out to the other side of the bleachers and grab Larder, reach out down into the pit and try to grab Marianne. Make a check for me. Let me know what tags you're throwing into the mix here.
Okay. I think imperfect shapeshifting.
For sure.
And I think that's kind of it.
Cool. You have a +7 to this roll.
Hell yeah. 14.
Hey, right under the danger zone. Complete success. Larder, to your horror, the creature which you fear most extends a hand that grows to the size of your cock box, perhaps even larger. and completely encloses you in his big gray knuckles. Marianne, I think more gently you are picked up and brought to Tulpa's side as well. While you're being pulled away, Marianne, from the middle of the arena, Lily is looking at you from atop this palanquin that is chaotically galloping around the arena and going, Marianne! Oh, Marianne! Whoa! Hey! Get me down! I don't want to be up here anymore.
Don't worry, Lily. We're coming to save you.
You say that, and just some like burning debris of like wooden supports and tarp begin to just kind of float down from the roof in a frightening way.
Awesome.
So you are both adjacent to Tulpa now, and as you get here, you watch the seers, who are also present in this tent, begin to freak the fuck out as well. All three of these seers are held aloft by some kind of levitation spell, and they seem to lose control of that and drop from the sky, kind of jittering to the ground, not crushing anybody. But you see pale hands extend from robes to catch themselves in the sand as they reorient, as the seers seem to be briefly taken out of commission. Lily's still being danced around the burning wreckage of this place. It doesn't seem like these animated objects have a plan yet, beyond they have Lily and they're carrying her around in circles. I'd pass the ball over to you guys.
Well, wait. Tulpa, can't you like freaking? What if you start playing your hand like a flute, and then they would go and line up for it?
That's a good idea.
I mean, we got to do something.
Hold on,
We got to do something.
I'm sorry, have I missed? Tulpa, does your hand work as a flute?
Wait, like the Pied Piper?
I don't know. Probably, and
Which, the hand holding me or the hand holding... Oh, the hand holding, Larder.
both, and I let go, and my hands shrink down, and I try and just morph my fingers into a flute.
Okay. Yeah.
That's cool.
I guess, yeah, roll imperfect shapeshifting for me. Add 6.
Okay. I feel like there's got to be some downside. Can I don't know, naive, which is a negative tag that I have. Tulpa's never played the flute before.
And so he's naive in believing that a flute will help in this situation at all, is what I'm gathering.
Sure, yeah.
I think he's naive of how to play the flute.
Sure. Yeah, we can say naive, so that'll subtract 1, so you will be sitting at just a +6.
Oh, a measly +6. Ooh. Oh, wait, no, it's fine. That's a 14 again. I got an 8 plus a 6.
Just skirting death. Okay. So I have great news. On a success, you are able to successfully would describe what it looks like as you morph your hands into a flute.
I think it looks terrible. I think my fingers like widen and flatten to where they're like 2 or 3 inches wide, but they're like, just barely there at all. And I curl them around so that, they become the thin, long shape of a flute. And then the spaces in between my fingers kind of like just open and close like the holes of a flute. And so it becomes a skin flute, if you will.
Oh, Jesus.
No, that's disgusting.
Tulpa just starts.
Yeah, so I have great news, Tulpa. You do successfully, in a horrible display of body horror, create a flute out of your hands. This does very little to stop anything that's happening in the environment around you. Tell me, what does Tulpa believe this will do in this moment?
He believes that Larder told him, try this, it'll do something. And so he doesn't know what he expects, but he's like, Larder knows stuff about the world. So like, this has got to do something.
Yeah. Okay. I think on a success, somehow, in a way that's maybe not entirely tangible or recognized by any of the player characters. Larder, you're going to gain a +1 to your next roll.
Yeah.
If you want to put it as a condition, you can call it belief at level 1. But something about a Dreamling's inherent belief in your ability actually will bolster your ability for 1 skill check.
My master plan is coming together.
So that happens. Again, just to clarify, burning debris falling all around you, screaming civilians fleeing. Tulpa begins to hit a fucking nasty riff on this flute, and a couple fleeing civilians who are losing their minds stop briefly and go, "Oh, nice, man." And then they keep running.
Tulpa, I think you're maybe the biggest abomination ever walked the earth, but man, if that riff doesn't go nasty on it. Wait, hold on. So it looks like you're struggling a little bit there. Is that normal? I'm trying to think on my feet here.
I've never done this before.
Is it so? Like, how does it work? Like, can you just do this? And is all this other stuff like? I think basically what I'm asking is what the hell's going on here?
Is this not normal? There's a bunch of weird stuff going. I don't know what the rules are, man.
While you guys are talking about this, a small animated bucket has just clonk, 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 clonk come up to you, and it bumps into Marianne's leg.
Oh.
Marianne, the bucket deanimates as it touches your leg and just rolls away like a normal bucket.
What?
And you feel a shifting in your pack.
In my pack?
Yeah. You see...
is it the bucket?
Bursting out of your pack is one of your puppets. Would you like to describe it?
I think it's gotta be the Tulpa puppet. It's the puppet that looks like Tulpa.
Holy shit. A puppet that looks exactly like Tulpa has just been animated by this strange rogue spirit. It bursts out of your pack and using its marionette strings is going to try to wrap your legs up in them and completely immobilize you.
Oh, come on, man. That's my puppet.
It jumps out and goes, "My name's Tulpa. I suck." It's going to start running in circles around you.
Hey, wait a second.
Tulpa, get it. Get it. Oh my God, get it.
What do you guys do about that?
I'm gonna try to push it away. I don't want it to wrap me up. It's a fucking puppet.
Make a roll about it. Tell me what tags you think would help in this situation.
I'm gonna say puppeteer helps me out here.
Oh, yeah, I feel like that's directly related.
I think Songstress's caretaker could be added too, because I don't want to get wrapped up because then I can't save Lily.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I add 2 to my roll.
You do indeed.
That's a 14.
Hey, hell yeah. That is incredible. That is a success, and because you added 2 tags, that is a success with 2 power. And behind the GM screen here, I have a clock where I am marking down the total amount of power you guys rack up on rolls against these guys. You don't need to worry about it, but just know that that's good for you. You are able to successfully whip this puppet around. What do you want to do on a success here? I won't throw any complications at you. How do you deal with this little animated rogue Tulpa puppet?
I'm sorry, I took a bite of apple as you were talking. I thought you were going to talk a little bit longer.
No, good.
It's trying to wrap its marionette strings around me.
Yeah, it's just got a bunch of loose strings trailing behind it, and it's going, I suck. It's just trying to wrap you up.
That's beautiful. I'm so good at using puppets that I'm just gonna like totally like, it's trying to wrap itself, and I'm just like, marionette puppets usually have the little like wooden handles. So I'm just like, I'm so dexterous. I'm just gonna like grab and like first try, get the handles, pull it up by its strings, and I put it back in my backpack.
Yeah.
Or wait. I need to transfer the spirit to something else. So I'm gonna... Is the bucket still around?
Yeah, the bucket's rolling away.
I'm transferring it back to I'm going and smacking the marionette. Not too hard, because it is a precious thing of mine. But I'm smacking it against the bucket to transfer the spirit back to that.
I think on a success with 2 power, you can absolutely do that.
Yes.
Deftly, with the hands of a puppetress, you are able to, in one motion, swoop up the wooden handle of this puppet. It begins to yell and struggle and waggle and kick its little limbs around. And it goes, I suck. If you have to remember anything about me, instead and then you just kind of gently donk it against the side of the metal bucket, and you see the small whoosh of some blue ghastly wisps move out of the puppet and into the bucket, and the bucket angrily rolls away with attitude. And as you kind of deal with the immediate problem, you look back up and see the seers have begun to mobilize slightly. Whatever wave of disruption was sent out, they have overcome. The 3 of them are gathering themselves. You watch as Dominion shoots skyward out of a big hole that has burnt through the top of the tent towards the sky, and begins to hoist 2 pale hands towards the clouds as dark gray storm clouds begin to gather overhead. And in a powerful feat of magic, it seems like they're trying to summon rain to help put out this fire. Justice begins to float back up into the air and swoop around the crowd, hoisting people up in long tendrils of red fabric extending from their red cloak, like a giant red fabric octopus wrapping its tentacles around people and floating them to safety outside of the tent. And Providence locks eyes with the abducted Lily and makes their way towards Lily. As the seer begins to fly towards the galloping palanquin, all of the animated objects begin...
You should have named it Dominion. Right?
Fucking hell. I am going to leave this in because I need to explain something for the listeners. I named these 3 seers with like big, pretentious names because they're big and powerful and lore reasons. And one of them is named Dominion. And ever since I name dropped Dominion in the text chat for this voice call, over and over again, they've been calling the seer Dominion, D-A Minion, like from Despicable Me. And they've just been sending fucking Minion gifs while I'm talking about anything that Dominion does. It's really funny, though. I can't, it keeps breaking me.
One of my haunted house coworkers dressed up as a minion for our last day on Sunday.
Oh my gosh. I can't think of anything scarier.
I know.
Same bit. As Providence shoots forward from the floor where they were stationary for a moment after the shockwave, as they shoot towards these animated objects, it seems to spook them a little bit, like this palanquin that's like galloping around carrying Lily on its back. Like a horse seems to get scared by the seer zooming this quickly towards it and shoots off in the opposite direction away from the seer towards a burning open flap in the side of the tent and out into the rain. What do you guys do? I will say if you do nothing, you're in immediate danger of getting crushed by some debris or hit by something on fire or something like that.
Wait, I think I got... Okay, all right, hold on. I got an idea. I think I can... I'm going to try it. And Larder's going to see, with this whole magic bomb going off, if he can do some magic. Larder, kind of in the spirit of the whole, like, kind of cartoony magic vibe going on, I think Larder is going to try and pick up, like... I think Larder's gonna... So Larder's got this cockroach crook, and he's gonna run as fast as he can with, like, dragging along behind him to draw a pen in the circus sand, in the ring or whatever.
Wait, I'm sorry, like a chicken pen or like a writing pen?
Like a chicken pen.
Okay, I figured.
I've got I think I have... I don't think I have anything that would help me here. Unless you want to call it jerry-rigging, but I don't think I would go that far. Or communing with animals. So I...
Got your +1 that I gave you.
I do have that. In that case, I'm sitting at an 11.
Okay. Tulpa, Marianne, you watch the strangest thing begin to happen as Larder runs incredibly fast for his age throughout the sandpit in the middle of this tent. Larder, kind of, describe that initial moment of you trying to, like, draw a fence in the sand before anything magic happens.
He goes, okay. See if you could distract him for a little bit. Puts his crook in the sand and starts, like dragging. And it winds up being like the Bugs Bunny, like, drawing in the sand. And so it's like, it repeats the same motion, like, really, really fast. So he's, like, pulling backwards, like, And then it, like, camera cuts to the top of the tent and he goes, and he makes a little box.
Yeah. You watch Larder begin to move faster and faster. And I think the weirdest thing about this moment for the both of you, well, for Marianne, is that it doesn't seem strange or incredibly illogical right now that Larder is doing what he's doing, even though what he's doing is some outlandish cartoon bullshit.
Of course. And he's never been able to do this before.
No, never once. Tulpa, you look at this and see Larder is tapping into something magical about the environment in this moment. You're not sure exactly what's happening or how it's happening, but he is tapping into the same pool of dreamling magic that you are. Nobody else in the arena seems to recognize what Larder is doing as magic. Either they're too caught up in their own affairs or whatever it may be. And as Larder finishes drawing the fence in the sand, and we cut away to everyone's reactions, and we cut back, and a fence has been erected just out of the blue around a bunch of these animated buckets and brooms and shit, pinning a bunch of them in. And to anyone that's not Tulpa, this fence has been there the whole time. You just blinked, it was there, and that's not weird. There's been a fence in the middle of...
Even for Marianne?
Even for Marianne.
Oh, okay.
Tulpa, you recognize this as magic, and I think you're under the impression that nobody else has registered what's happened here. There's some mental fuckery happening, perhaps. Larder, you finish setting up this fence as you screech to a halt, and a cloud of sand kind of puffs up around you.
Hey. Oh, all right. That ought to hold him. Does it indeed hold him?
Yeah. So you have not completely eliminated all challenge from this situation, but you have caught a majority of the animated objects, a shit ton of brooms and benches and stools that are running or like skittering around like spiders, and even that kettle corn glob monstrosity I mentioned earlier, which, if anyone had been rolling any mixed successes, was going to lunge at Tulpa and attempt to kill him for all the kettle corn he'd eaten earlier. You see all of these animated objects are trapped in this fence, and the kettle corn beast is just angrily grimacing and gripping two of the fence posts like jail bars and just mean mugging Tulpa from the other side of this enclosure. The one animated object that was able to escape is this big ass palanquin, which was kind of able to leap over the fence like a horse, like jumping over a hurdle. And it has completely escaped containment. It has run outside now, out into the rainy streets of Corbin. And rainy it has become indeed, as you hear thunder begins to clap overhead, and it seems Dominion has completed their rain calling spell. and kind of a downpour begins to douse the town of Corbin, and the fire flickers in protest as it begins to be sprayed. A lot of people have been escorted out of here by justice. Not everybody. There are still some civilians. And Providence has completely left the tent in pursuit of that galloping palanquin. One final thing before I hand the ball back over to you guys. As Lily begins to get further away, Tulpa, you feel a familiar tug kind of in your gut, like some magical tether that has been tied to you is beginning to take on some tension.
I'm about to be split up from you guys, so we gotta keep it together. I have an idea. Thanks to Larder's quick acting, I think I know what to do. And Tulpa clinches, and his legs start to extend, and his neck also extends. His body kind of warps and expands a bit, and he turns into kind of like a giant chocobo, where he looks vaguely avian, but also kind of like a big ostrich. His hair turns into almost feathers. I have like a really long neck, and pick up Marianne and Larder and just go, let's go! And just charge forward at as fast a speed as my ostrich transformed body can carry.
Hell yeah. You're juiced up on magic right now, so a transformation of that scale is not completely unrealistic, but I do want you to roll for this just to see if we hit that overflow of magical misfiring.
Okay.
So yeah, I think shapeshifting, and if you want to throw anything else negative or positive on here, let me know.
Anything else really applies, so... Again, that is a 14 because I rolled a 7 and I have a +7.
Just flirting with death. Unbelievable. Another complete success. Yeah, you guys watch Tulpa begin to morph and shift to a more extreme degree than you've ever seen before into a beast of some foreign land, a creature from a dream that you've never laid eyes upon before. Very prehistoric, almost like, if I'm interpreting correctly, like built kind of a bit like a big velociraptor with a long neck.
Yeah.
And I have a question. Is it like Tulpa's human face on the end, or is it like...
Oh, it's absolutely, it's his human face. I think his hair is a little changed to where it looks kind of like feathers sticking out from the back, but it is a full humanoid face on top of a gray and green velociraptor, ostrich, dinosaur body.
Fucked up. Get on that fan art, tabletop TV watchers. I want to see this thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, you scoop the two of them onto your back. Yeah, this is body horror adjacent. How do the other two react to this, do we think?
Larder is doing whatever folk religion. He's making the equivalent of like the cross that Catholics do, but the symbol that serves that same sort of purpose, or like the movement to ward off evil, is very complex, and it takes him like 5 minutes to do. So as it's going, he's like, head, shoulders, knees and toes, around the world, no one goes.
Yeah, you begin your 5-minute ritual to banish all evil. How's Marianne doing right now?
I think Marianne is doing fine. Because does she know that Tulpa's like a dreamling?
I think in the like 2 or 3 weeks you've known each other now, I think you've become pretty familiar with Tulpa's whole deal and his magical self.
Okay, I think Marianne's totally fine with it then. I think she's like, classic Tulpa, becoming an ostrich.
Sweet. You are both scooped onto the back, and you are able to deftly and athletically bob and weave between a panicking crowd and burst onto the rainy streets where it is absolutely shitting rain. While you are running towards the exit, running adjacent to you, galloping alongside, is another horse. A horse who you saw Terra the Beast Whisperer talking to earlier, who goes, Hello, my name is Jean. Can you finally hear me?
Yes, we can!
I thought this guy's name was Wednesday.
I think Marianne is so excited to be talking to this horse.
Jean goes, listen, there's something I have to tell all of you before the gift of speech is removed from me. It's incredibly important that you listen to the next words I'm about to tell you. And Jean, while running adjacent to you, runs headfirst into Larder's cockbox that has been parked outside. And Larder, your cockbox, the door kind of throws open, it becomes ajar, and a bunch of chickens begin to just scatter out all over the place.
Oh, you stupid horse.
Stupid horse that just fell out of the Porsche.
And as you ride past this feathery explosion, a chicken lands in your lap, Larder, looks up at you and goes, Father!
Sweet pea.
I love you so much. I never had the words to say it, but you're my favorite guy.
I don't like this.
I hope nothing bad ever happens to me in my immediate future.
You get your... hold on, Sweet pea. You get your siblings a vanilla and honey pot. And just trying to keep a roof on the place. I got a good deal with whatever the hell that is.
Okay. You throw... What did you name this one?
This is Sweet pea.
You launch Sweet Pea back towards their siblings, and Sweet Pea, who it seems like similar to how the animation was being passed from object to object, this gift of speech seems to be bouncing from animal to animal based on contact. So a completely wordless horse is now confusedly stumbling away from a, for lack of better words, a cocksplosion.
A boxplosion.
Sweet Pea is wandering back towards the chickens going, now listen here. Our benevolent dictator has ordered that we get back in line.
I always sort of saw myself more as a father. But no, I can't think about that right now.
And up ahead is Solo now, this galloping palanquin with Lily atop it, who's still just screaming bloody murder at this point in a way that I'm afraid to do as a GM, because I think my neighbors will be worried if I start imitating a child screaming. But just, help, Marianne, Tulpa. Notably not that many screams for Larder, but that's okay. You have your chickens.
This is prejudice.
As she's screaming, Providence swoops in to try to scoop her off of the top of the galloping palanquin. A very strange thing happens, where as Providence swoops in close, Providence gets really close, and Lily turns around and sees the golden-helmed, red-robed figure, Superman zooming towards her rapidly, and lets out a shocked and surprised scream. When Lily screams Tulpa, you feel a deep chill run through your bones. Just something about the songstress's magical voice letting loose a scream hurts. Tulpa, I'm going to need you to make a roll for me.
Okay.
This is to resist some magical damage or some magical effect that's about to befall you, coming from Lily's voice. Tell me what tags you think would help. I know I've been a little vague, so it's if you need to spitball or ask more questions, that's I have
Dreamling Insight. Dreamling Insight works.
Yep.
I also have from my Fated Companion playbook, I have Limited Free Will, which maybe because it's Lily doing this, maybe I'm a little extra affected by it.
I think I'm going to allow a special case ruling. I believe if I'm remembering the rules right, and if I'm not remembering the rules right, you can come to my address and fight me, listeners. Once a session, you can use the name of the theme itself as a tag. You can just use that general umbrella term as a +1, and I think Fated Companion really makes sense for a roll to resist a magical effect from Lily.
Okay.
So this is going to be a +2, and the greatest theme that you're pulling from is greatness, correct?
Correct.
This is a greatness level challenge, which means you're not getting a +6. You're just rolling with a flat +2.
Okay. 12.
You succeed. Oh, and I should add, you're not adding your conditional extra +6 to this, are you?
Correct, I am not. I rolled 2 5s, I'm just cracked.
Wow, cracked out of your mind.
Let's go.
As a dreamling, I think we flash back to a couple experiences you've had in your very few days of life. While chasing around some chickens, their loud cocks and screeches and caws. If you ever got too close, that loud noise began to ache in your bones a little bit. Something about that volume and you being a dreamling doesn't sit right with you. And I think another instance, one other time when you've heard Lily scream. The first time Lily ever ran up to you in the field. That first scene that you ever appeared in on this arc, where Lily burst through that line of grain into the circle where you stood and saw you for the first time and let out a scared yelp. And with that yelp, we see, just looking at you, a almost cartoonish shiver or chill run up your body. So in this moment, with these experiences in mind, as you watch Lily kind of open her mouth with fear in her eyes, ready to let loose a scream, I think you know to cover your ears in this moment, because it will do more than hurt your ears. Something about this magical voice, while it can be used for healing and good and lullabies, it seems like it may have other properties as well if she ever raises her tone. You clasp your hands over your ears as this scream reverberates out through the air, and the mighty Seer Providence flies just a little too close to this. And despite all of their magical power, you watch that same shiver run down the frame of the Seer, and they, whatever flight spell was happening on them, completely drops, and they fall to the mud, hands outstretched to catch their fall in front of you. And as you're riding past, you don't have much time to really do or say anything with the Seer. You hear the Seer, no metallic affect, none of that echoey bullshit that normally surrounds their voice when they talk. Just a human woman's voice come out of the Seer's mouth as they hit the mud. It just says, "Shit, it wasn't supposed to happen this soon." And you ride past as she kind of scrambles to collect herself out of the mud. Lily is in you guys' sights now. You are gaining on this palanquin. It was not made for galloping. It mostly had the advantage of surprise, and you kind of pull up next to it, Tulpa, and you find yourselves adjacent to Lily. Tulpa, you find you can't get too close, though, with all the screaming she's doing.
Ah, fuck! And I deflate to my, normal size, and I just kind of cover my ears and crouch down.
I'm flung forward from where Tulpa stopped, and I do a little scorpion pose. I'm all right. I pick my face up, and I have a bunch of sod in my mouth, and so I just spit that out, and I go, "Darn it!"
Okay, cool.
But Marianne, can you get her with the puppet strings or something like that? What?
Oh, I think Marianne is quite upset right now, in the same way that a mother would be upset hearing her child scream. But I'll go into action mode, I guess. Yeah, can I try to? I don't know. Can we try to get her with? Wait, how close? You said we can't get too close to her.
Not within distance for Tulpa to tackle this thing, but I'd say you're like before Tulpa juts to a halt. You're about 5 feet, to the left of this thing running alongside it.
Can I try to lasso her with my puppet?
Yeah, that rocks. I love that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm assuming you want me to make a roll for that.
Probably, yes. Pull out 2 6-sided dice, and let me know what tags you think would help you lasso using marionette strings, Lily.
I think familial love / protection because I'm trying to save Lily from whatever she's screaming about.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And perhaps also, probably not woodworking because this is more related to the puppet strings.
True. Have you used Puppeteer as a tag this session?
Yes, I used it to get the puppet off of me.
Okay, cool.
But I'll just use familial protection.
If you want to burn a tag, which would mean clicking that little flame button next to the tag, you can get a +3 from it instead of a +1.
Oh.
But you won't be able to use that tag again until you get a good rest.
I see. I'm not going to do that. I have a 3.
A 3. Okay.
All of our good rolls are coming back to bite us right now, guys.
Marianne, atop Tulpa, you take out one of your puppets, marionette strings, and just begin to whip it around your head like a lasso. You are lining up the shot, and Tulpa immediately comes to a halt with a start, completely throwing off of your balance, and this causes you to go tumbling down Tulpa's spine, face first into the mud, and kind of a puppet bonks you in the back of the head as you land.
Right next to Larder.
First time.
Yeah, I think it is.
You do find yourselves in the mud on a complete failure.
You don't have to call it a complete failure. You can just call it a regular. That's okay.
Sorry. I am going to... Actually, here's what I'm going to do. You're going to take a condition, Marianne, for failing that roll as you kind of violently bang off of Tulpa's back here. You're going to take a condition called Bruised. This is going to be condition level 2, unless you would like to make a roll to try to do something about that as you go rocketing towards the ground. You get banged up on your landing. This thing begins to ride even further away, now coming to the edge of town and getting close to fields of rolling grain and grass. Tulpa, you feel that harness, that spiritual kind of unseeable tether begin to tighten again. You are about to be warped directly to Lily in the next 3 seconds. What do you do?
Fuck. I think, well, if I'm touching the other two, maybe it'll work, and I reach out to grab them again.
Cool. You reach out to grab them, but before you can touch either single one of them, you step forward, and the mud here seems to be a lot deeper than it is in other patches of this dirt road. And you kind of fall to waist deep in this mud, and then like quicksand, you start to get sucked under it. And you fall through the bottom of the mud and are in the sky, falling about 5 paces ahead of where Lily is currently. In this split-second moment, as the universe decides to teleport you into the air above Lily, if you do nothing, you're going to be run over by a palanquin and hurt.
I would like to extend my arm to be just comically long and then wrap it around to grab my own arm with my hand and, like a lasso, shoot it out towards Lily to at least grab onto her and, like, you know, retract myself towards her.
Okay, that rocks. I'm going to set the stakes for this roll because we've made a lot of rolls to try to get back Lily. And we haven't got her back yet, and I've been ticking up another clock that's not a positive one here on the side.
Oh, no.
If you succeed on this roll, or even on a mixed success, you will pull Lily off away from the palanquin to safety. On a failure, this palanquin is going to completely break the border of Corbin with Lily atop unsaved. This is going to have negative consequences on Lily's relationship with the adventure going forward. On a success, you'll grab her, and on a mixed success, something somewhere in between is going to happen.
Okay.
So, this is going to be the last roll of this chase sequence. Tell me what tags you want to throw on here, and if you're burning anything or whatnot.
Do I still get my +6 action going on?
Yes, if you're trying to do something magical. But again, if you go over 15, it's going to be a mixed success instead of a full success.
In that case, I would just like to do imperfect shapeshifting.
Okay.
If that's okay. I mean, like, if I'm being a stickler, I have destined to help. This feels directly related to that. So let's add that in. I'll roll a 14 again. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
So that's a +2. Destined to help normally would add, because it's from a greatness theme, which is your like very, very powerful theme, the most powerful theme anyone in the party has. Normally it would add a +6. However, because you don't want to go over a certain number, I think you bringing in your destiny in this moment will neutralize the magical overflow mechanic I've introduced. Going over 15 will no longer be a problem.
Okay.
However, you're not going to roll with a +6. You're just going to roll with a +2.
Chat, that's a let's fucking go moment.
Let's do this.
So I think as you fall from the sky, you're able to, I think in this moment you recognize the stakes. You look at Lily, someone who you feel obligated to save, someone who has an unwavering belief in you, and something about her belief in you in this moment, whether it's just mental or something magical in the world around you, you stop glitching. You gain complete and full control over your magic again.
I'm locked in.
Roll it up.
To all the listeners at home, Colton wins these. I can't explain it. I've never seen him not win these.
He just wins.
So it's a +2, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I rolled 2 4s, so that's an 8. Plus a 2 is a 10.
Which is exactly what you need to reach a full success.
He just wins.
I called it.
I just win these. I'm locked in.
Reed, I want air horns right now. I want a brass band playing Winn-Dixie.
Man, that's nuts. That is you've been rolling good. 2 4s. That's solid.
No, yeah, I every single roll I've made, at least one of the dice has been a 4, 5, or 6.
Man. Okay. Tulpa, describe your heroic save of Lily Tillman at the last possible second.
My arm extends. My bones kind of go jelly a little bit. It's kind of disgusting if you really think about it. But then I reach back around to grab my own extended forearm. And in slow motion, as Tulpa's falling through the air, he just goes, "Lily!" Sling my arm towards her like a lasso. It extends even further and just wraps around her waist. And I just yank her off the palanquin. We land on the ground, and Tulpa just goes, "Let's get the fuck out of here. Sorry, let's get the freak out of here."
What does that word mean? What does that word mean?
I'll tell you later.
Okay, you better, because I'm not going to stop saying it until I know.
Ask Marianne.
Okay, you throw Lily atop your back.
Marianne does not know what that word means.
Pure of heart. You throw Lily atop your back, and the palanquin runs off into the fields of Corbin aimlessly out into nature as a new animal in whatever forest it ends up in. And you ride back. I think we have a shot briefly of Marianne and Larder pulling themselves out of the mud, looking out through the fog and rain. Tulpa's disappeared. Lily's disappeared. You can't tell, they might be gone forever. Lily might have fully been taken away. And then you see the silhouette of a strange, fucked up ostrich velociraptor with a human face, carving through the stormy night, illuminated by flashes of thunder from the storm summoned overhead, and atop Tulpa's back is the rescued Lily Tillman, who, over the raging storm, yells at you, Marianne. Marianne! What does fuck mean?
I'm sorry. I'm choking on my club crackers right now.
And I think as Lily says that, I think we are going to cut away from that moment as Lily is rescued and the day is saved. The sun rises over the town of Corbin the very next day as we see steam coming off of the pavement as water from the previous night begins to evaporate in the warm morning air. And the grand parade has finally come to an end. Corbin was its final stop. This was the final game of the seer, and we see on the horizon Bedlam Woods, a sprawling expanse of forest that goes for miles and miles, that leads up to, in the distance, what you can just barely make out to be the twisting peaks a mountain range far from here that you are about to set off for from Corbin. Gathered at the edge of town, closest to Bedlam Woods, all of the members of Tobin and Corbin and a few more you've picked up along the way have gathered in a huge crowd to celebrate the final sending off of Lily Tillman. A final celebration is held where Lily Tillman gets up on stage and performs a song for everybody gathered here. Atop the stage, Maria, the vocal coach for Lily, kind of pushes her on and goes, "Come on, you'll do great." And then Lily kind of nervously and sheepishly looks down at the audience and is just making eye contact with you, Marianne.
You can do it, Lily.
Okay.
I'm going to give her 2 real big thumbs up.
She opens her mouth and begins to sing. And it is the most beautiful song any of you have ever heard. Tulpa, you feel physically better as a dreamling upon hearing this song sung by the songstress.
Ah.
Yeah, she starts singing and you make a little sound. This puts everybody in very high spirits. And as the round of applause follows her song, the Seer Providence goes, with again that metallic affect. And now, a song from the previous songstress for good luck, to wish you well on your journey. And you see Maria Smith, the woman who's been Lily's tutor this entire time, gets up on stage.
Whoa!
And begins to sing. And Lily's song was beautiful, but Maria's song is fucking something else. Just a beautiful ballad of her journey through Bedlam Woods to the Twisting Peaks. Kind of a saga in a song. It's 5 minutes that just details her adventures, her journeys, her companions. There are somber parts and uplifting high notes. And in this moment, Marianne, make a check for me. And I don't normally do this, but I'm going to tell you what tags to use.
Okay.
You can add Information Gatherer, and you can add Familial Love Protection to this.
I have rolled a total of 10.
A 10. Full success.
Yeah.
Looking at Maria, at first when you met her, she had some visual similarities to Lily that I think you waved off as coincidences.
Secret mom, secret mom. Is that what you're about to tell me?
It's simply impossible that Maria is the mother of Lily.
Okay.
You were there pretty recently after the birth of Lily herself, and you're like, yeah, Mrs. Tillman was definitely pregnant. But now that you know she was the previous songstress, these two look so similar that it cannot be a coincidence that the songstresses selected continue to look the same.
Mm.
And I think you have perhaps some idea of maybe some kind of rebirth situation, but the previous songstress isn't dead.
Ooh.
But something, there's some force out there that is continuing to bring about these similar songstresses to go on this journey.
Okay, I was going to make a different joke about it, but that's actually kind of cool. I won't make my joke.
You recognize that. It's something also itching at the back of your brain that even on a 10, you really can't put words to with 2 power on a success. But just something about, before this, a couple other people came on and did little songs. Like it's a big musical event as a sending off ceremony. And it feels a little bit like a game. There's not a winner, like the songstress is the winner, but it feels a little bit like a 4th game.
Oh.
Which is weird that they're not calling it that.
I see.
They're just calling it a celebration.
Of course.
And as Maria finishes her song, she does a few bows with kind of a humble grin, looks out, and with perhaps a little magic speaks very loud to the whole crowd. It goes, "And now, it has finally come time. The games are complete, and the songstress is to select those who will travel with her through Bedlam Woods, up the twisting cliffs, and to the bed where the dreamer lies. Lily, would you like to tell us who will be coming with you?" And Lily stands up, and without skipping a beat, she points to Marianne, she points to Tulpa, and she points to Larder Gillhooley.
Wouldn't it be crazy if she didn't point to one of us and then we weren't allowed to be on the podcast anymore?
Hey,
See you guys in the next one.
what gives?
And I have a question. I have a kind of a meta question for you, the players. Are there any NPCs here that you think you would also want to come along on the journey with you that you think Lily would point at in this moment?
Who is Larder's enemy that won the one game?
I was going to say the same thing.
Grimbus Beerwout.
Yeah, I think he should come since he won one of the games. I feel like that's one of the like secret perks of winning the game is that the like, which you can, as the DM, you can totally veto this, but like, oh my god, what are they called? Not the songstresses, the like Dominion.
The Seers.
The Dominions.
The Dominions.
Yeah.
Dominions. I think the Seers can kind of like, ooh, you should choose the winners of the games, and also whoever else you want.
I think the Seers definitely do talk to Lily before she makes her decision and give her advice on who to pick. And that definitely happened because she reaches an outstretched finger and points into the crowd. She points at Larder, and then she points at Grimbus Beerwout. And an opening in the crowd, like the parting of the Red Sea happens in a direct line between Larder and Grimbus. And Grimbus makes eye contact with you, Larder, and goes, "You son of a bitch."
I'm sorry. Do I know who you is?
He charges you, red-faced. We cut away from that. Okay, Sid selected one. Borb, Colton, you two don't have to select NPCs, but if there are any NPCs who you think Lily would pick out in this moment, you can shout them off. Otherwise, we will continue.
I got two in mind, but I want to see if Colton says one of them.
I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest, the only two I can think of are the random, I can't even remember his name, but he killed like a fucking nightmare in the woods during the competition.
That's what I was thinking
That
of.
guy seems like a badass who would be a perfect meat shield. And then my second idea is the hotel staff Thomas, who is, you know, an up-and-coming bard who Tulpa created a very, you know, defined relationship with.
Hey, you can pick either one of those. Bringing Tom along would be pretty funny.
I think I bring Tom along because Borb has ideas of his own that maybe match up with my other one.
Colton, make your decision completely in isolation of mine, but I won't know what I am going to say until it comes out of my mouth.
Lily's finger then drifts to point at Tom, who goes, "What? Me? I don't." And Lily goes, "I heard your songs. They were really good. I think I could learn a lot from you as a songstress." And he blushes a little bit and goes, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you." And he begins to hum Cappuccino by Sabrina Carpenter.
That is not what the song is called.
Fuck espresso, whatever the fuck it's called.
He starts singing cortado.
That's what it should be because she's so little.
Borb, who you want? You want somebody?
Estoy macchiato. So Lily says that to Thomas, and okay, Reed, I'm gonna do something, and because we're friends, you don't have to say yes.
Okay.
But just know that I'm only doing this because of how much I trust and respect you.
Okay.
Lily's gonna say, "We forgot Mr. Tumnus," and you say, the crowd are kind of like, "Which one of them is Mr. Tumnus? Who?" Mr. Tumnus was walking around in the background when the Seers announced that Lily was the songstress back in Innertubin, and he was kind of moving through the crowd, I think, and so Marianne picks up Lily like this and puts her on her really tall shoulders, and now she's up there, and Marianne is like fighting through the crowd and everything. Mr. Tumnus, who is a reed of a man, is is like trying to whisper up to her. And he's like, wait, the prophecy is incomplete. I know the way. A shortcut. Please. But he was left behind by the parade because he doesn't walk very fast.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we can make that work.
And so the parade has to go all the way back to Innertubin and then come all the way back out to where we are now.
Oh, I would like to think that he was still making his way, like he knew the parade route if he knew the prophecy. So, like, he didn't get the whole way.
Walking up to the town right now, as we speak, an old man who has not slept once since the Grand Parade left town and has walked 30 straight miles in order to make it here in time to be there, present from the departure of the songstress, goes, hold on just a second. You can't go anywhere without Mr. Tomness, the character that's been here the whole time. And the crowd parts and Lily goes, yeah, Mr. Tumnus, he's gotta come. He seems really smart and intelligible about everything that's happening.
I am a scholar and an aristocrat, robbed of my fortune.
Red-faced, sweaty, breathing hard, skinny, just like, passes out in the crowd in front of everybody. Mr. Tumnus is also selected to come on the adventure. Wild, Borb. I'm about it, but absolutely wild.
Yeah, I know. That was a pretty disrespectful take.
The crowd cheers as the final member of the Fellowship of the Songstress is selected. And we see a shot of the party setting off. A cockbox in tow, wagons with supplies and tents, and a merry band comprised of Marianne, the faithful sitter, Larder Gillhooley, the ever diligent Cockard, Tulpa, the dreamling with a strange past, Grimbus Beerwout, eyes shooting daggers at Larder Gillhooley, trying everything he has to get Larder to remember him. Tom serenading everybody with Cortado by Sabrina Carpenter. And finally, Mr. Tumnus, the ever-wise sage who has been in the background of every shot of this campaign so far, but blurred out and never referenced by the GM, but ever lurking. But as the group sets off, I think after 20 minutes of walking, you look around Larder and Marianne, and you can't seem to spot Tulpa. You're not entirely sure where he's gone off to. Marianne, you're worried. Larder, you're perhaps elated.
Mr. Tumnus, do you know where that thing went and how and also what it is?
Can I interject really quick? I think Marianne is not worried because she's kind of realized, like, he'll just reappear probably.
Yeah.
Like, he can't get too far from Lily, so I think she's kind of like, meh, whatever.
You say that, and we cut back to somewhere else, a place we haven't been before. The castle of the Seers, with 3 great thrones erected from marble and gold in the middle of a grand room with high ceilings and large pillars. Behind these thrones, a secret door that leads into a large room with several cells in it. The 3 seers are consorting among themselves in this secret room, speaking to each other. Just murmurs are caught by the camera and the audience as they do this. He's a creature who seems to have permanently broken out of a dream. Do you understand what that implies? Another seer responds, I understand it all too well, seer. But the understanding shall live and die with us alone. As long as this creature remains here, the future of Atlas is secure. There is no way that he will be able to escape that vault. And we see Tulpa Before the departure, you were swept into one of the robes of the seers, and in a flash you found yourself locked in a cell, behind bars marked with etchings and runes, and various inscriptions on the floor with chalk seem to be lining it to spell-proof it. You hear whispers of this conversation coming from a room prior to this secret cell room of the seers. And as they say that final line, there's no way to escape that vault. You begin to feel that tug on your tether again. This room is trying very hard to keep you here. The seers swept you up quickly and efficiently and covered you in magical chains and bindings and sigils. No mortal would be able to escape this room. You see a blue spark come from the wall behind you. Another one. Another. The seals and protections on this place begin to blur, crack, and a doorway opens up. And you see your friends merrily parading towards Bedlam Woods.
I think Tulpa looks around at the cell around him. I think he has a bit of a thought of like, this is a way to not be next to Lily, which is I think a thought that's starting to kind of have a draw to him a bit. But then he looks around at the cell that there's no windows. It's, just all bricked up. It feels like he is just being captured, and he goes, well, it's less nice than the cell that I'm used to. So, and I think he walks forward through the doorway.
And in a flash, you are back amongst peers, free of chains, casually stepping free from this place. The seers, having not yet recognized this, we see one final shot of them gathered around their round table, speaking in hushed tones of business to each other. And the Seer Providence goes, "Worry not. The Lucidites will never know of the dreamling who escaped his dream." And that is where we are going to end today's session.
We won't know about what.
And Mr. Tumnus steps out from behind a pillar in the Seer's secret room.
Eyes blazing.
What a curveball, Borb. I can't believe it.